I'm the creation of Allah.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Talib, growing up in the West, you know, the Muslim woman is made to look like this slave that is forced by her husband to stay in her home and cover her up, and also be a housewife. A lot of people don't know that they actually choose to do this themselves. Can you just show us? I know a Western woman is shown as a free woman who can goes out, works, and goes out wearing very little clothes, and she's free, in contrast to the oppressed Muslim woman. Can you just shed some light to show the reality of who's really oppressed or who's open? You've dealt with the Western woman. Can you deal with the Muslim sisters, inshallah?
Bismillah wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulillah wa alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam wa ba'd. I want to break this question down to two parts. One about oppression and about the role model, the role of staying at home and looking after the children. First of all, about oppression, there's nothing greater, no greater form of oppression than shirk. But after this, the other forms of oppression is for a woman to be told that how you are born, how you are made by Allah naturally is deficient. And that's what we see all the time in the media. If you don't look like this singer or dancer or actress, there's something wrong with you. You won't be popular. I think that's a great form of oppression. If you don't dress the way she dresses or walks the way she walks, then there's something wrong with you. I think that's oppression. And we find women are spending thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of pounds making themselves look like other people. So how are they free and independent? I think they're oppressed like other people. And as we've said before, in the time of recession like we're in now, plastic surgery has increased. People taking surgical measures to change their anatomy because they're not happy with themselves. Their noses, their skin color, their eyes, if they haven't got the creases in their eyes, to place creases in their eyes. All these type of measures. If this isn't oppression, that you feel somehow you're deficient, if you don't change how Allah created you, what is oppression? The other thing about women going out to work, it was the Rockefellers and a specific commission of theirs that came up with the idea that by promoting women's liberation and women going out to work is a way of, how can we put it, developing an economic market. And that's what we see. Women go out to work not because they have to go out to work. Many women work because they have to support themselves and their families. And unfortunately, many men are not stepping up to the bar, and so they have to look after their families by working. But many women feel this pressure, this enormous psychological pressure to go out to work. And what happens to them when they go out to work? Is it fulfilling? Many of them are working in careers where they don't feel fulfilled, where they're harassed. Sexual harassment has been increasing over the last decade, where many things happen to them at work which wouldn't happen to them had they stayed at home. But this is not the argument here. My main argument is this. As Muslims, we have our own unique identity, our own unique culture, which has been developed over thousands of years, and it takes as its center the Quran and the Sunnah as understood by the Sahaba. And we have found that by Muslim women over the years, following the way of the Sahaba, they've had nothing but happiness in their life. And when the Muslim woman follows the ways of other people, we always find sadness and despair. And so we see, for example, now, the Muslim woman going out to work, leading her life, doing her own thing, and she, emulating the Western woman, thinks she's happy. But then, when the marriage breaks down, who is there to look after her children? Who is there to help and support her? Nobody, because the same ideas that said to her go out to work are the same ideas that tell men, hey, you can have children with absolutely no responsibility. And that's what we find in our society, that while it promotes freedom, so a woman is free to do whatever she can with her body, so is a man. And so a man has a relationship with her, and then when the responsibility of children come, he goes off. He doesn't want anything to do with her and his children. And it's the same freedom that's given to us through the mass media, is that she bought into when she went out to work. It's the same freedom that men take on board when they just abandon their families. So what I'm trying to say here is we have to be careful with some of these ideas, and that's what they are. It is ideology. These are ideas that govern how we think, without us critically analysing them, and Allah knows best.
And what's the benefit? What is the beauty of a woman, you know, being a mother and wearing hijab and actually following the Islamic way?
First of all, when a woman is a mother and she wears hijab and fulfills her Islamic requirements, she's making Allah happy. When she takes her clothes off and she wears a miniskirt and she wears makeup and she plays with perfume, who is she making happy? She's not making herself happy. You're telling me I need to spend hundreds of pounds on perfume to spray myself to make myself happy? I don't need to do that as an individual. I can sit at home, crack a joke and become happy. But often we find that people do things, both male and female, to make other people happy. So what we find, Akhi, that women, they're wearing high heels, they're wearing miniskirts, they're dressing a dress because they feel by doing this, she becomes popular and somebody else is happy. But when she stays at home, when she wears the hijab, she's not making Vogue magazine happy, no. She's not making television happy, no. And Hollywood are going to be angry with her. But rather she's making the Lord of the worlds happy. And because He, the glorified and exalted, is happy with her, she finds that He opens ways for her that previously were closed. And this is something that we have to always keep in mind. And this is what we always bring it back to.
Jazakallah khairan.
Barakallahu feekum.
Alhamdulillah. Yep, perfect.